Hello there, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to review one of the fragrances from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. In fact, I think this is one of those fragrances that has not been spoken at all by anybody. And I think this is such a hidden gem that it has been lying underground for such a long time. And I was so shocked when I smelled it for the first time that it was actually that very good, right? And after that, I've been actually recommending it to a couple of people and who have actually absolutely loved this particular fragrance. And we are talking about one from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi called as Ighraa, okay, or Ighraa, okay. So basically this is Ighraa, and we're going to do a detailed review about this beautiful fragrance and find out what's this duping and why this is such a hidden gem, what makes it so very special. All right, so if you're here for the first time, my name is Rodney and you're watching the Perfume Experience. We bring Indian, Middle Eastern houses and a lot more happening on this channel, and if that's something that you kind of like, then definitely hit the like button, subscribe and share. अगर ये चैनल आप पहली बार देख रहे हो और ये जानना चाहते हो कि ये फ्रेग्रेंस कैसा है, इसकी रिव्यू कैसी है, तो अंत तक बने रहिए क्योंकि मैं एक छोटा हिंदी समरी आपको देने वाला हूँ एट द एंड. तो अगर वो आपको बहुत पसंद आता है तो ज़रूर लाइक और सब्सक्राइब कर लेना. और लेट्स गेट इनटू दिस रिव्यू राइट आफ्टर दिस इंट्रो. Alright, welcome back. So first of all, let me tell you how I came across this particular fragrance. So, I get a lot of fragrances now for resale, for our retail store and all of that. So I saw this ad with my vendor and I was quite surprised that, I had not heard about this fragrance for a long time or as such. And I was figuring out what is this fragrance. So I did a blind buy and bought this, okay. So it kind of comes in the exact same box packing that you would see for Blue by Ahmed. Okay, Blue Oud by Blue Oud from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. Similar type of a packing, in fact the same type of a bottle presentation as well. And I was quite shocked to see that this is a very popular fragrance with the vendor and it kind of moves really fast. So I did a blind buy and decided to try it. So first I actually got this. So I managed to get a vial of it, okay, from one of the vendors, and I tried this. And after I tried this, I decided to get the full bottle just to check. And when I read the notes, I was very interested because I'll tell you what the notes are of this, okay. Tobacco, black pepper, pineapple, cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon, grapefruit. So a lot of oriental fragrance notes, okay. And then in the heart, there's patchouli, coffee, iris, lavender, okay. And at the bottom, there is vanilla, amber, drywood, benzoin, labdanum, sandalwood, and Asian vetiver. Now, when you read about all of these things, it's very curious to figure out what kind of a fragrance or what kind of a scent profile this particular fragrance, captures. And I was like very blown away with this. But when I smelt it, I was even more zapped because the initial thought was, wow, this smells nice. And it was just the, a test strip that I went with. I went with this because, and this, as you know, has a very small atomizer, right? It's got a very small spray, and you'll notice that I kind of emptied the entire bottle out of it, okay. So the first spray that I did, and it was projecting so loudly, so loud, and it was on my skin for a very long time, maybe about 7-8 hours time easily that I could think about. And this is summer, right? So even in the summertime it was smelling so nice, and I was absolutely zonked away. And I did wear this multiple number of times and exhausted the entire bottle. And then when I found this that my vendor actually has this, surprisingly coincidentally at the same time, I decided to get the whole bottle, okay. So this is what is the Ahmed Ighraa, and it kind of comes in a similar type of like I said, the Blue Oud bottle presentation basically. So this sleeve is very tight, okay. So it kind of is a little difficult to pull it out. Now surprisingly, this has got 40% concentration. So this is a 59.80 volume. So close to 40, I mean more than 40% of concentration. And the bottle kind of sits like this. It's a black colored bottle, and there you go. So when you look at it, you absolutely immediately recognize that this is a same blue type of a bottle, but except this is in complete black in color, and it has the same jacquard design at the back, all of that exactly same, no differences at all. Now let me just do a quick spray and tell you exactly what I kind of like of this, okay. So the sprayer is very good, and immediately you recognize the scent straight off because this is a very popular scent. It's a very popular men's dupe, okay. Popular modern men's fragrance that I call it, which is basically Sauvage Elixir, okay. So this is a alternate or fragrance that's inspired from that particular scent profile, and this is done really well in such a way that I can tell you that this will replace this easily, okay? And it also replaces this because this is Cutler's Gate and this is not available so far, and I've always said that the best alternate of Sauvage Elixir was the Gate, and I feel we have something new right now that is absolutely underrated gem, okay? So what makes Ighraa so special, okay? Now the thing about Ighraa is it has that similar lavender, aromatic, sweet cinnamon kind of a vibe and some light hint of mellow hint of iris at somewhere, and a lot of vanilla, sandalwood, spiciness, typical nuances of what you kind of get from the Sauvage Elixir DNA. That exact same DNA is what you get, okay? Now, but how is this different from the other two fragrances, okay? Now, the primary thing that I will tell you when you compare it with Asad, exactly how is it different. Now, with Asad, what happens when you put this on, the first spray is not as strong as how Sauvage Elixir is, but it has got that same DNA of that aromatic spices, tobacco, peppery elements, aromatic vibe that is definitely captured there, okay? But after a few minutes, it starts to transition and it goes into a dry down where the dry down is a little bit more woodier, a little more sweeter. But overall, the fragrance kind of does about 5, 6, 7 hours time Asad basically, and there's a transition that happens, right? Now the same thing with Gate. Gate is actually a lot more sharper. In fact, has captured the nuances of Sauvage Elixir very, very well. And like we say that no clone or no alternate or no inspired fragrance is a 100% close to the original. So this actually is pretty good. This one performs really well, lasts long, all of that part exactly same, no changes. And in fact, that's where I think this comes in, and this does exactly that what Cutler's Gate does. So if you already have Cutler's Gate, then you don't need this. But if you have been looking for to get Gate and you've not been able to find, then you can definitely consider getting Ighraa. Now the thing about Ighraa versus especially when you think about Asad is that Asad does this transition and Asad starts to become lighter and lighter and then eventually goes into the dry down and it kind of fades off. This one does not. This one retains that DNA of Sauvage Elixir all throughout the 7, 8, 10, 8, 9 hours that it lasts. It absolutely does that all the time. And this thing projects like crazy. It's a beast mode fragrance, I would say, because if you do, typically, let's say if you're doing 10 to 12 sprays of anything, then on this do about 6 to 7, that should be enough because this actually projects pretty strongly. And on apparel, this easily lasts about, let's say, 8, 9 hours or so, even in this summer heat, in this humidity, and you can see that I'm already sweating. I have droplets of sweat going across. Even when I'm recording this at around 8 o'clock, even then, this thing lasts really good. So I'm sure that during winters or during celebrations, during weddings, if you've been wanting to get a beast mode alternative of Sauvage Elixir, then Ahmed Al Maghribi's Ighraa is definitely the one to go for. Fantastic. Now the price point in which it comes also is really good. Sub 2,700, 2,800 rupees maximum is the threshold limit for this particular fragrance, and this is fantastic for this particular price point because of its lasting. The quality of scent is so good. Now when you talk about the notes itself, right, when you talk about the lots of things, the coffee, the iris, all of those things are not actually very prominent. The nutmeg, the pepper, the tobacco elements, the aromatics, the vanilla, the sweet oriental spices, those are the ones, those raisins, the smoky elements that are there, those are the ones that actually are very dominant on this one, and that's what makes this very nice. Now I do have the OG Elixir as well, and when you compare it, what you can definitely say is it's close to about 90% closeness in the air. That's how it smells. But the primary difference is while the Elixir, the OG, transitions over a time of, over the period of time, it gets into a more drier, it has this nice, lovely vanilla kind of a vibe that it comes up, with. This actually does not. This stays linear that way and actually stays linear all throughout the time that you're wearing it. So if you enjoy the Sauvage Elixir DNA in the air, then that's the right type of fragrance. The Ighraa is the right type of fragrance for you to wear because this actually smells so very good. And I'm quite surprised or shocked rather why no one actually talks about this as an excellent alternative of the Sauvage Elixir, right? So that's what I've been wanting to talk to you about, and I think it's a very good value for money fragrance, especially for folks who like a beast mode scent, fragrances that are sub 3000 but actually last through the whole day, and something that you can actually wear very versatilely, because I feel we've also called the inspiration of this in our inspired versions called as modern man. And I think that because today if you look at a new age man, and if you want a signature scent for them, I think Sauvage Elixir DNA is absolutely one of the ones to kind of get. And that DNA itself is loud, and that's one of the reasons why Asad was so very popular. But this actually kills that in all fronts in terms of its lasting and the beautiful scent profile. No alcohol blast, nothing at all. And as generally as what Ahmed Al Maghribi does, it has this beautiful blend of the strong, high concentration along with the blend that works absolutely fantastic. And I enjoyed this fragrance very much. So if you're looking to get a very nice winter fragrance, especially a Sauvage Elixir dupe, then definitely Ighraa is one to consider. And now let me do the summary in Hindi. तो आज हम बात करने वाले हैं एक आमद अल मगरिबी का फ्रेग्रेंस जो इस तरफ के बॉक्स में आता है, जो आपको बहुत हद तक आपको ब्लू ऊद की याद दिलाएगा। बोतल भी काफ़ी उसी तरह लगती है, बट ये पूरी एक ब्लैक कलर की बोतल है, सेम जकार्ड वाली जो वाइब है पीछे वैसे ही है। ये फ्रेग्रेंस आपको याद दिलाएगी एक पॉपुलर डियोर का फ्रेग्रेंस है जो सौवाज एलिक्सर है, उस फ्रेग्रेंस के बारे में, जो एक एरोमेटिक टोबैको स्पाइसी ओरिएंटल स्वीटनेस के साथ जो एक फ्रेग्रेंस आती है, तो उसकी याद दिलाता है। मैंने पहले इसकी एक वाइल ली थी, ओके, और इस वाइल को मैंने पूरी खाली कर दी थी क्योंकि मुझे ये बहुत ही पसंद आया। उसके बाद मैंने मेरे वेंडर से ये अवेलेबल था तो उसको मंगा लिया, और मैं बोलता हूँ एकदम से बढ़िया मर्दानगी की टाइप की फ्रेग्रेंस है जो बीस्ट मोड परफॉर्मेंस देती है आपको। जब मैं बोलता हूँ बीस्ट मोड परफॉर्मेंस, ये धूप में जहाँ में हम बैंगलोर में हैं 34-36 डिग्रीज पूरे दिन की धूप में भी ये आपको आराम से 8-9 घंटे आपके कपड़ों के ऊपर रहता है। और जब भी आप कम स्प्रे करते हो, जैसे 5 स्प्रे करते हो, तो आपको इस फ्रेग्रेंस की पूरी खुली एक पर्सनालिटी दिखती है जो एक्चुअली में बहुत ही सही है, बहुत ही अच्छी है। और इसकी जो खासियत ये है कि मुझे लगता है कि जहाँ असद ये ड्राई डाउन में बहुत बदल जाता है, ये बदलता नहीं है। ये एकदम से सौवाज एलिक्सिर का जो डीएनए है उसी डीएनए को पूरी टाइम कैरी फॉरवर्ड करता है, और इसमें कॉन्सेंट्रेशन 40% है। तो काफ़ी बढ़िया वाली एक फ्रेग्रेंस है जो आप शादी के लिए, आउटिंग्स के लिए, पार्टीज के लिए, वहाँ जहाँ भी आप जाना चाहते हो, जहाँ आपको एक लॉन्ग लास्टिंग फ्रेग्रेंस चाहिए, एक बीस्ट मोड फ्रेग्रेंस चाहिए, जो एक अंडररेटेड जेम है, जो सौवाज एलिक्सिर का डीएनए को काफ़ी अच्छा तरीके से कॉपी किया है और अच्छी तरीके से बनाया है, तो डेफिनेटली इसको आप ट्राई कर सकते हो। ये प्राइस पॉइंट मुझे लगता है कि 2700-800 के रुपए के आराम से मिल जाएगा। एक काफ़ी बढ़िया फ्रेग्रेंस है आमद अल मगरिबी तरफ से, कॉल्ड इग्रा। So that is what I thought about this particular fragrance, and we are going to do review a lot more fragrances as well. And I've kind of got a little more busy with by inspired and retail and all of that. So we do have our retail fragrances back in stock, and also letting you know that we are going to bring the samples back in stock as well, because a lot of people like the designer ones. So we are going to bring niche samples, especially Creed Aventus sample, Nishane Ani, Nishane Asiwat, Boulang Shah, Perfumes de Marly, Greenly, Perfumes de Marly, Sedley, Delina, Leighton exclusive, and a lot more that you can check out on our website on the sample section. And this for sure I will add it on to decants, so you can probably get it in decants about a week or two from now. So all of that happening on the website. Join our community as well, and I'll see you on another video. Until another time, take care. Bye bye.